All right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord, willing, is beautifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, all right, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, from I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your progenitors go back to but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right? I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. So, pretty much, all right, I was listening to the beloved elder Kazak, all right, out of Mississippi early this morning. And, wonderful lesson, by the way. Wonderful lesson. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. And he hit some very, very key points. You know what I'm saying? But the name of his lesson is What If Y'all Are Wrong? All right? What If Y'all Are Wrong? That's his channel. Yahweh Shai is coming back soon. All right? You can subscribe and be edified, man. Okay? And the title of the lesson is What If Y'all Wrong, man? Okay, and he's responding to one of the comments that was on his page. Okay, responding to one of his lessons. You know what I'm saying? And clearly, all right, clearly there's a lot of individuals who's turning back in these last days, you know what I'm saying, in these last moments, I should say. All right? Because this is the year 2025, all right, the year of apostasy, sellouts, and agents, man. Okay? And a lot of people are turning back. All right, a lot of individuals is turning back, man. That's why you got to be prayed up. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue to pray. You have to continue to fast. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue to seek the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Now more so than ever, because it's not going to get any easier going forward. It's just not. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people are trying to find the easy way out, man. There's no easy way out of this. There is no easy way out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this grace period was so important. Elder Yashawamba gets into it all the time. What were you doing with your grace period, man? What was you doing with this time? All this time that we had, you know what I'm saying? To hear the words, to receive these words, to have them within us, absorb them, you know what I'm saying? To take the time to go through these scriptures, man. To listen to the words of the prophets, all right? Retain them within. What have you been doing with your time? And we've been seeing scoffers, mockers, you know what I'm saying? Apostles, bishops, and elders, man, they've seen it, man, for decades and decades and decades. Decades, man. You know what I'm saying? But now the time of scoffing and mocking is dwindling down. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of mockery anymore. You know? So basically, all right, I'm gonna read this quote, you know what I'm saying? Or this comment, you know what I'm saying? The elder Kazaka went into it perfectly, went into it wonderfully, you know what I'm saying? I just want to, give my land back on it and hit some points as well. So the person was a Sun Gaze had said, what if the future scenario that you're hoping that you're holding on to, What if the future scenario you're holding on to doesn't unfold the way you expect? All right? What if it doesn't unfold the way you expect? Right there, that's already sowing seeds of doubt, man. Okay? What if it doesn't unfold the way you're expecting? Well, it is going to unfold the way we're expecting because we're reading it out of the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? And through the Holy Spirit, we have received the mysteries. Okay, we understand what is written. You know what I'm saying? We can go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. We can get the understanding, man. As it says in the book of Psalms, all right, chapter 119. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Okay, this is Psalms chapter 119 and verse 104. All right, it reads, "Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way." All right. So yeah. You know, when you jump up a little further, all right, to verse verse 99. All right. It says, "I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts." You know what I'm saying? And the wisdom that's in these scriptures, that's in these words, okay, they can only be brought out through the Holy Spirit, coming from the prophets, all right, coming through the prophets, which are an extension or a conduit, you know what I'm saying, through the Spirit. Okay? So this is the book of 1 Corinthians. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. It reads, "But we speak the wisdom of our power in a mystery." Okay, in a mystery. "Even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High Power ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory." You see what I'm saying? And this is extending onto these Israelites, you know what I'm saying, who continue to you know, push off the day of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? All right. if you knew, all right, if you knew exactly what's coming, you know what I'm saying? If you understood these precepts in this entirety, you know what I'm saying? All right, the mysteries, you wouldn't be pushing this thing off, man. You would be hastening. All right, you would be hastening for the day of the Lord, man. All right, that righteous return. You know? So yeah, man, you know, the thing about it is that we have that stability, okay? The stability of mind that comes with understanding the word. You know what I'm saying? With comes with understanding the prophecies, you know what I'm saying, the mysteries contained in. All right? The parables, so on and so forth. Let's see. All right, let's go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. All right, it reads, "We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn, and the day star arise in your hearts." You see what I'm saying? Verse 20, "Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High, holy men of power, spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. You see? So at the end of the day, this truth and this knowledge is going to come through somebody. You know what I'm saying? Someone has to have the 100% truth. Someone has to have it. You know what I'm saying? In these last days, man. All right? And that somebody is the men of great millstone, man. All right? And the men of the likewise doctrine. You see? Those who have the correct teaching, the correct doctrine, okay, and bringing it forth, man. You know what I'm saying? From the men that labored before us, okay, and those that taught them, beginning with Elder Abba Bivens. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the truth has sprung up, and it has taken root. Okay, and it's bore fruit. You know what I'm saying? It is born fruit, man. Look at everything that's going on out here, man. Everything that's going on around the world. All right, as a result of this truth having gone forth. You know what I'm saying? I jotted down some points, you know what I'm saying, that I want to get into, but just think about it, man. As a matter of fact, let me get this in the book of Matthew. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then shall the end come." You see what I'm saying? This word would reach into every corner of the globe. And how would it do that? It would do so by use of the internet. You see what I'm saying? By use of the internet. We see this in the book of prophesied in the book of Psalms, the 19th chapter. Okay? That this is how this word would go forth. You know what I'm saying? And the Spirit it hath gathered them. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter Slakia. I'm trying to remember. Isaiah chapter 32. Oh, Slakia. Nope, that's not right. That's not it. Let's see. Isaiah chapter 34. There we go. The water Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read." All right. "No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. All right. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." Okay. So through the preaching of this word, all right, the Spirit of the Lord and through wisdom, all right, has sealed the elect. You know what I'm saying? And we believe, all right, that all the elect are sealed. You know what I'm saying? And if not, it's damn near close. You know what I'm saying? Damn near close, man. You know what I'm saying? So throughout the day, I was just thinking, you know what I'm saying, just meditating on what the elder was getting into, man. You know. And I was thinking about a bunch of things, you know, that we preach about, that we prophesy about, because this guy says, what if the future scenario you're holding on to doesn't unfold the way you expect? You know what I'm saying? Well, if we're wrong on this. If we're wrong on this aspect, then we got to be wrong on that aspect. If we're wrong on that aspect, then we're wrong on that aspect, and this and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? All right, a whole domino effect. Okay, if we're wrong, then this is wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that. Okay, so if there's one thread, that's unsewn, okay, the whole tapestry falls apart. You see, and that's how beautiful this truth is, man, because it is a tapestry. Okay, it is a wonderful story. Okay, that is all woven together. Okay, and it can only be brought out through the prophets. Okay, pieced together as a puzzle. Like I said, precept upon precept, man. Okay, and only the true prophets can do that. You know what I'm saying? And bring out the 100% truth. And guess what? The names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son is a part of that 100% truth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the key that holds all of this together. Your salvation as an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Without those names, you can kiss that shit, kiss all that goodbye, slock it. You know what I'm saying? You can kiss all that goodbye. All right. So says, would you still be able to live, connect, and engage with life as it is? Okay. If we're wrong, would you still be able to live and connect and engage with life as you currently are? You know what I'm saying? Or what'd you say? Or will disappointment turn into numbness? You know what I'm saying? So will we just walk around with our heads hanging low and whatnot? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, what is our hope in? Okay, what is our hope in? What's this guy's hope in? You see what I'm saying? Is it going around and voting every 4 years? Is that what it is? Let's keep voting. Let's vote in the next guy. Let's do a midterm election. You know, like all these sheep are still talking about. Let's go to the midterm elections. Hit the polls. You see what I'm saying? What's the solution? Like the elder Kazak had brought out. What's your solution to all this madness that you see? People's realities are breaking apart right this moment with all these things being revealed. Okay, with the depravity, okay, that these Edomites display, you know. And you got to think about these things, man. So like I was pondering, like I was meditating, you know what I'm saying? What if we're wrong? What if we're wrong concerning what? Concerning the things that we preach, us being the Hebrew Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Us being the Hebrew Israelites. If we're wrong about that, well, then the question is, who are the Hebrew Israelites? Who are the sons and daughters of Jacob, man? Descended today. Because they got to be here, right? And if we're wrong about that, well, then what about the Edomites? You see? What about the Edomites? Where are the Edomites today? Because the scriptures clearly tell you that the Edomites will be ruling when Yahushua returns. You see? So where are they? You got these people who are saying that Esau, Edom is not the so-called white man. Well, then the question is, who is Edom? Who is Edom? And if these devils are not the ones that's ruling the planet, you see what I'm saying? Then that means we that means that we have a whole nother captivity to go to, man, to go into. Because the scriptures clearly tell you that the Israelites will be in captivity. The Israelites will be at the very bottom. The Israelites will be destitute. Okay? In every sense of the word, man. And that's what the Israelites would be, okay, in this final captivity. Then you gotta break down the prophecy of Daniel. You see what I'm saying? With the statue seen by Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, you got to break down the head, the torso, the legs, the 10 toes. You got to break it all down, man, in a completely different way. So who's the 10 toes now? You see, if we're wrong about that, who's the 10 toes? You see what I'm saying? If it's not EU and NATO, if it's not if it's not America that's riding this beast. Who's the whore then, written of in Revelation, the 17th chapter? You see what I'm saying? Who is that? Who is spiritually Sodom and Egypt? That's the question. All right? That's the question, man. So if we're wrong about this, then we're wrong about that and all these other things, okay, that's delicately woven, like I said, into this tapestry of prophecy. So, then on top of that, you got to go into the MOTB. All right? You got to go into the mark of the beast, man. What is the mark of the beast? You see? If it's not this microchip, if it's not this C hit that we're seeing, all right, if it's not this thing that's going to be the key to functioning in this digital prison, dystopian prison that we're seeing unfolding right before our eyes, man, if that's not it, what is? What is? That's the question. You see what I'm saying? If we're wrong about that, if we're wrong about the Hebrew Israelites, then we got to be wrong about who's the Edomites. If the Israelites are not us, then the Edomites got to be somebody else, right? The Edomites got to be somebody else, because Jacob will be oppressed by Edom. Jacob will be oppressed by Esau. So who's Jacob and who's Esau? Who's oppressing who? You see what I'm saying? And in these last moments, there's going to be a system that's going to be in place that's going to require your consent to be initiated into this system. You see what I'm saying? Through the course of through the implementation of a mark, of a device, all right, of something that's going to brand you as a citizen of this new system. You see what I'm saying? All right. Elder Yashawamba and Elder Apostle Aramla went into this as well. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to it earlier, and they was going into this whole system, okay, that you're going to be initiated into, man. Because the thing about these devils, man, is that they understand these biblical principles and how they work. You see what I'm saying? They understand that. That's why when they mandate this thing, when they mandate this device, okay, this is going to be, they're not going to pin you down. They're not going to pin you down and force it in you. All right, that's not what's going to happen. That's not what's going to happen, because that's not how this works. You see what I'm saying? That's not how this principle goes. And these elites know that. You see what I'm saying? It has to be, all right, it has to be consensual. It has to be something that you are willing to do. You see what I'm saying? That you are willingly, not unknowingly, but knowingly willing to do and partake in. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say all the time, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be Israelites with fringes on who's going to be taking this mark, who's going to be taking this thing, this charagma. Okay? Israelites who's going to be taking it. There's going to be Israelites who's going to take it knowing what it is. And they're going to be like General Yohana, you know, hey, I got to eat, you got to eat too. You know what I'm saying? So, then you got to think about the Lord, the prophecy of the Lord coming back, man. Okay? Is the Lord coming back? You see? What if it doesn't play out the way we expecting it? Well, you know, is he coming back or not? You see? Is the Lord returning or not, man? Or are we just gonna stay here? Or are we're just gonna continue on in our day-to-day, get up, go to work, come home, eat food, go to sleep. You see what I'm saying? And then do it again the next day. Go up, get up, go to work. You know what I'm saying? Work for 10, 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours a day. All right. Come home, eat food, go to bed. That's the life that you're looking forward to? You see what I'm saying? That's the life that you're comfortable in? He says, God's presence isn't a future transaction or a reward system. God's presence isn't a future transaction or a reward system. This whole book is a transaction. This whole book is a transaction, man. You see what I'm saying? The covenant is establishing a transaction. How stupid are you? You see what I'm saying? The whole book is talking about a transaction. Let's just do something quick. Let's go to Lamentations. Right? Let's just hit this. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. It says, rejoice in, here's a transaction. All right, here's a transaction, a reversal of roles, if you will. You see what I'm saying? Something physical. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. A whole switch of fortunes, if you will. You know what I'm saying? As it was said by, what was it? What was it? Andrew Jackson or Salakia? I forget who it was, who said that. All right, but nevertheless, one of the founding fathers, you know what I'm saying that there's going to be a switch of roles. There's going to be a reversing of roles. You know what I'm saying? All right, and that's going to be done through supernatural means. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Jefferson. You see? Thomas Jefferson said, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just. You know what I'm saying? That his mercy cannot sleep forever. So these devils know that there's going to be a reversing of roles. All right? This is a transaction. I don't know. Let's hit Jeremiah chapter. Let's go here. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 31. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. This is talking about a contract. This is talking about a transaction. You see what I'm saying? This joker says God's presence isn't a future transaction or a reward system. Huh? All right? It's experienced inwardly, not in a projected outcome meant to compensate for pain, loss, or unmet desires. Okay? Let's get this. Let's keep going. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. All right. And will be their power, and they shall be my people. You see what I'm saying? All right. A covenant is going to be established. All right. What did he say? He said, not a projected outcome meant to compensate for pain, loss. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? This is from people who don't even actually read. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60. All right, Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 14. It says, the sons also of them that afflicted thee, pain. You see what I'm saying? The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Yahshua. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, pain, all right, pain, compensation for pain and loss, you see, and unmet desires, right? Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and thou shalt suck the breasts of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord Yahweh, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. What are you talking about? You see? It says sometimes the real work isn't waiting for the outside to change, it's facing what's happening within. Growth isn't about enduring for a payoff, it's about becoming whole now. Okay. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Salakia. All right, this is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 27. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, which that hasn't happened yet. All right, which that hasn't happened yet. Ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. You see what I'm saying? And everyone, not just the 12 disciples, you see what I'm saying? Not just the top helm of the 144,000, but also those of the remnant as well. The rest of the 144,000, and then the large multitude, all right, that will be gathered as well. Check this out. It says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, all right, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. This is an actual reward that we're talking about, an actual reward. You see what I'm saying? And for someone to say something like this means that you don't know anything about these scriptures, man. You haven't studied, okay? You haven't been listening to the prophets for very long. You know what I'm saying? So, what does it say? It says, nobody has to admit anything publicly, but privately. Being honest with yourself can preserve your dignity more than clinging to something out of fear of being wrong. Ain't nobody afraid of being wrong. We have, like I read, we have a more sure word of prophecy, man. Okay, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it's because there's no light in them. And you haven't said anything according to this word. So ain't no light in you, partner. Ain't no light in you, bro. You see what I'm saying? I couldn't wait to do this lesson. You know what I'm saying? All right? Because if we're wrong, then the Lord's not coming back. You know what I'm saying? If we're wrong, then the Lord ain't coming back with an armada. He's not coming back with massive ships. Okay? Right? Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Let's see. Luke chapter 21, verse... Luke chapter 21 and verse, let me see. You know what, Salakia? Actually, let me hit Matthew chapter 24 verse first, and then I'll hit Luke 21. All right, Matthew 24. Let's get verse 30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his select from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." All right. Luke chapter 21 and verse Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. It says, "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up, all right, and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." And he spake to them a parable. "Behold the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. So likewise ye, when ye shall see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand." You see what I'm saying? "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled." You know what I'm saying? And here we are in the regeneration. Okay, in the reincarnation, if you will, seeing these things unfolding. And what are we seeing? Okay, what are we seeing? We're seeing our enemies being exposed at a high level. Okay, with these files, with the world, the world responding to what's being exposed at this moment, at this time. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's going on in Iran. Okay, in Iran, they just burned an effigy of Molech. You know what I'm saying? And an obelisk. You see? So our enemies are being exposed, man. It's just, and I saw that hearing. You know what I'm saying? I did a lesson on that Pam Bondi chick, man. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. It's everywhere, man. Like I was picking up my nephew this evening, and he was just going on about that hearing, man. It was just so unbelievable to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone on the planet is able to see how completely bare Esau is made right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at an article from Natural News. It says Pam Bondi faces conservative backlash after the explosive Epstein hearing. You know what I'm saying? That was just terrible, man. Nasty work, nasty work. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's coming. That's what's happening, man. But that's what's happening, and it's happening now. You know, as the scripture said it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The scripture said that the son of perdition shall be revealed. The son of perdition is being revealed. That's Esau. The Edomites are being revealed. I just saw a video from Elder Ashiyar. You know what I'm saying? He was holding with the beloved priest. Okay. He and the priest was going into the fact that these Amalekites are working on overdrive, all right, to get a hold of this internet because they're exposed now. They are exposed now. You see? So the son of perdition is revealed, man. And all these Edomites are revealed. You know what I'm saying? Now you got our enemies being booed on the world stage and being greatly despised, you know what I'm saying, at the Olympics, okay, and all these various global events, you know what I'm saying, greatly despised, as is written in the book of Obadiah. You see what I'm saying? What if this is not playing out the way we expected it? It's playing out now. It's playing out now. The prophecies are popping off these pages, man. It's all happening the exact way that the prophets have prophesied it. You see what I'm saying? The fact that you can't see it, that's not our problem. It's not our problem, man. You know what I'm saying? So these devils is about to burn it all down, man. They're about to go completely scorched earth. You know what I'm saying? Satan Yahoo just visited the White House. Just visited the White House Wednesday. Okay, so they're trying to get a war started with Iran within the month. Okay, because ain't no way that this peace deal is gonna work out. Ain't no way that's gonna work out. You see what I'm saying? And the only way you could even hope to come to any kind of peace deal is to come to the same exact agreement that Obama had with them. Okay? With the what was it, the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. Let me see this here. All right, this is from the mostimportantnews.com. All right, here's the headline. It says, Trump gives Iran a deadline for war that roughly corresponds with the end of Ramadan, which I believe Ramadan ends. I think Ramadan begins on the 16th of this month. All right, which is when the new moon comes in, by the way. Okay, and then it ends March the 18th. All right, so that's their that's some sort of a deadline, if you will. All right, so it says President Trump has just said that Iran will have about a month to make a deal. If you look at the calendar, about a month from now, we will be very close to the end of Ramadan. I think that President Trump is hoping that the military preparations that the U.S. is making in the Middle East will convince Iran to make significant concessions. But the Iranians have repeatedly told us that they must be allowed to continue to enrich uranium and that there will be absolutely no negotiations regarding their ballistic missile program or their support for proxies in the region. So essentially, there will be no talks, man. There will be no agreement. Okay? This thing is inevitable, man. Okay? So there is no way that a deal is going to be forged. In the end, either President Trump will pull the trigger or the Amalekites, the small hats, will go in alone. Either way, it appears that a final showdown with Iran is coming. Okay? So this thing's going down, man. What's more to talk about? What's more to talk about, man? Right? Let's get Revelation. Revelation chapter 11, verse 14, it reads, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." You see what I'm saying? The third world war is coming quickly, man. Okay? It's coming. And all these nations are going to turn their backs against America, you know what I'm saying? And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. All these European nations, you know what I'm saying? I just saw an article where the United Nations is on the verge of becoming bankrupt, I believe, because America is not paying them any more of their dues, which is roughly I believe it was 4 billion, which is roughly 4 billion. You know what I'm saying? So that's significant in itself. You know what I'm saying? If the United Nations falls, then all right. But this is a part of prophecy, man. It's a part of prophecy. So we have the sure word of prophecy, man. The economy is about to crash. The famine is about to start. You know what I'm saying? This is an article from Citizen Watch Report. Okay, the headline says, "Is the Fed intervening because an AI-induced depression is just around the corner?" All right, something doesn't add up. We're told that the economy is doing great. Indeed, the official metrics from the Fed suggest that the U.S. GDP is currently clocking in at an annualized rate of 4%. And yet, despite this, the Fed is already cutting rates and printing $40 billion per month and using the money to buy U.S. debt. That's another thing, man. All these other countries are getting rid of U.S. debt, man. U.S. Treasury bonds. You see? So how does this spell a good economy? How does this spell a thriving future for the country? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. Right? So it says to put those actions into perspective. The Fed usually does this during recessions to cushion the economic fallout. Why is the Fed doing this? If the economy is so great, why does the Fed need to intervene as if we're already in a recession? You know what I'm saying? And we are in a recession. You see what I'm saying? I just saw another article. Amazon is about to cut 30,000 jobs, man. You know what I'm saying? And all these different companies, okay, are slashing jobs left and right. You see what I'm saying? So it's the writing's on the wall, man. The writing's on the wall. All right? And in the midst of all this, you know what I'm saying, you got ICE that's building these concentration camps, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to call it what it is, man. These are concentration camps. The very thing that the prophets was talking about decades ago. Decades ago. You see? So, you know, and with all this going down, man, the prophets are going to be taken off the scene, man. The prophets are going to be taken off the scene. We're going to be removed from the scene, man. You know what I'm saying? No more reproof, no more rebukes, no more corrections, no more warnings. None of that. It all stops. You see what I'm saying? So here now, all right, at this pivotal moment when all hell's going down and all hell's starting to break loose, we're officially in Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble has officially begun. You know what I'm saying? With all this going on, the last thing that you want to do is sow the seeds of doubt, man. You see? As a matter of fact, was it incredulity? Let me see. Second Esdras. Let me see. Salakia. Let me just look this up. I actually forgot what this precept is. I know it's got to be in Second Esdras, though. All right, Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 3. Con. All right. Let me get this in verse 1. Second Esdras chapter 15, starting at the top. It reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." All right? So we know that we're not wrong. We know we're not wrong. We know that we have it all correct. You see what I'm saying? "Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." All right. The words that we speak begin with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down. It's not our words. It's not our words, man. You see what I'm saying? When we do these lessons, okay, when we're out there in the highways and hedges, man, when we get done prophesying, when we get done teaching, you see what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, we forget what we're saying. I know I forget what I'm saying, man. 9 times out of 10, because it's not my words. I'm not the one that's speaking. You know what I'm saying? It's the Spirit that's moving me. All right? Like the scriptures say, the Spirit is the Spirit that quickeneth. All right? The flesh profiteth nothing. You see? So, again, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Well, what if you're not? What if you're wrong? No, we're not wrong. We're not wrong. Because everything that we begin with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down have spoken, they're coming to pass now. They're coming to pass now. They're coming to pass. Okay? Verse 3. "Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." You see what I'm saying? All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So we ain't got to worry about your incredulity, man. Your incredulous behavior. This incredulous comment that you left. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about that. Because we know that we're right. And very soon, just like all these conspiracy theories, you know what I'm saying, that they've been calling it all these years is coming to truth, coming true, coming to pass, you know what I'm saying? All right. All these so-called conspiracy theorists, which it began with the prophets, you know what I'm saying? We're being vindicated. I know our apostles are definitely feeling vindicated right now. You see what I'm saying? Because they've been on this kick back in the 80s. When nobody was talking about this stuff, when nobody was talking about a digital prison, when nobody was talking about World War III, when nobody was talking about a digital device underneath your skin. You see? They was talking about it back then. So Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. So none of that moves us, man. None of that moves us. At the end of the day, the scriptures say, he has set forth his apostles last. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is going to vindicate us. You know what I'm saying? He's going to vindicate us, man. So we ain't got nothing to worry about. So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And Shalom.